It's so easy to jump into the negative and start thinking that photography is oversaturated, AI software and computational photography is doing all the work, and that there is no money in photography anymore. But rather than thinking about what photography used to be and kind of idealizing it, let's get into what it actually is today and why I believe there are more opportunities than ever in becoming a photographer. So let's talk about opportunities. There are a lot more photographers today, but there are even more people that need a photographer. If you think about it, has there ever been a time where every business on the planet needs high quality photographs?
Basically, every business today needs a website, and that website needs to contain photographs. Hundreds of thousands of products are being marketed every day, which would be impossible without a photographer. The explosion of the highly competitive world of Airbnbs makes high-quality photography essential. Considering that most businesses never really used to need photography, it's amazing the amount of places that a company will actually need high-quality photography.
You used to just walk into the store and see the actual product. Now that experience is actually quite rare, and even if you do go into the store, there are still images of the product. And it's not just the amount of people that need photos that has increased, the quantity of content that's required by those people and those businesses has also increased. So ideally, businesses will post to Instagram 4 to 5 times a week, forever, every week. There's millions of businesses needing a constant stream of high quality images. You know, people may be able to shoot their own images with a phone, but that will never be as good as a talented photographer with a camera. And remember, all of those iPhone versus camera videos you see are made by photographers, so it doesn't really represent the real world. So I really don't think it's too crazy to say that the world needs millions of photos every day, and that's pretty wild if you think about it. So let's talk about accessibility, okay? Never has it been so easy to get started, and never has it been so possible to learn so quickly. If you have a phone, you can practice basic composition techniques and editing. Now, if we were to compare the smartphone to the disposable film camera or the film point and shoot, you would have a limited amount of shots, and you couldn't see those images instantly unless you were using a Polaroid. In fact, you would have to wait days or more to view your shots, and this means that your rate of learning is dramatically slowed, since you can't review your shot. With today, you can review your shot, instantly make changes, you can adapt. And when it comes to learning something, don't underestimate the power of being able to review what you've done very quickly. Then, after you feel like you're hitting the limits of your learning potential with the smartphone, it's never been more affordable to buy, a capable camera. I mean, this camera secondhand cost me about the same as 2 or 3 PlayStation games. And while it doesn't have all the features of this camera, the majority of people probably couldn't tell the difference between the images when viewed on a website or on social media. Then let's not forget that basically every single photo app has some kind of decent editing capabilities, and this isn't something that the average photographer was ever able to do years ago. That's a huge part of today's creative process that wasn't even possible unless you were highly skilled and had your own darkroom. But I can hear you saying, but with all that accessibility comes a lot of competition, and you're right, there are a lot of photographers these days. It has never been more important to kind of stay ahead of the game, on top of new techniques and all the new technology and things like that. But you're in luck because you have access to almost unlimited free education on this platform, in fact on this channel. I learned photography in college and I went to film school. I think what I learned in college could have been summed up in like a 2-hour binge of Pete McKinnon's videos. Film school did give me a really solid foundation in shooting and editing with film cameras and things like that, and I'm really grateful for that. But I would honestly say that the vast majority of everything that I learned here on YouTube. My point is that while there are a lot of photographers, this community is not about competition. This is about everybody learning and everybody teaching. Remember that cliche, a rising tide raises all ships. I think that's very true. And then we have the professional equipment. There are basically no compromises today. Camera settings used to be about sacrificing something to gather more light. Should I risk blurry photos for more light, or should I risk missing focus for more light? Today's cameras are so capable that our camera settings are basically just a creative choice. I mean, this camera that I'm shooting with here, this can literally see in the dark, and I'm not a billion years old, but I'm not young either, and I can remember when my camera struggled for light. I can remember my 5D. I remember my Canon 5D. It's a brilliant camera, but I can remember needing to think about how much light there was. Now I just think about what direction is the light coming from. Even if it's like a lamp, I can still use it. You know, that's how great cameras are getting. And then we have the future of photography. It's possible that the mainstream world of photography is about to change again, in the shape of NFTs. Now, this is a very polarized subject, and I don't really feel like I belong on either side of the argument. But it is working for a lot of people, and with the likes of the emerging kind of metaverse and Instagram reportedly working on the ability to show off your NFTs on your account, this does sound like something that's starting to become real. And remember, most of the biggest changes to the digital world seem pretty intangible to start with. So, you know, I would just watch this space as a photographer. So this whole conversation about photography is much bigger than I've put together in this short video, but I hear the negative side so regularly, so I wanted to bring something positive to the internet, and I invite responses to this. I'm sure people have got loads and loads of opinions, so hit the comments. And whether you're a beginner or a professional, good luck with your photography, and thanks for watching the video. I will see you in the next one.